So tonight we're having gluten-free toast with pumpkin seed butter and wild blueberry jam. It tastes delicious. As you can see, I look like a bit of a mess, and also my backdrop has changed just a little bit. As you can clearly obviously read from the title, I'm moving. This is something that has been kind of in the works and on my mind for a couple of years actually. My plan is that I am moving out of my apartment, and it's been over a year and a half, or it will be about a year and a half. I mean, I'm gonna try and keep this video short because I feel like it doesn't need a huge explanation, and if you have questions you can leave them in the comments so I can answer them or answer them in another video. Of the evolution of my channel is going to more or less be me living in a truck camper. I moved into this apartment obviously so I could go to school in the city. Being in an apartment just kind of made the most sense for me at the time because I went to a private college, and so it's not a school that we have student housing or dorms. There's no like student facilities of any type. So yeah, being in an apartment here in the city and living basically downtown was just kind of what made the most sense. However, now that I am all finished school, the city's just not really something that serves me. Also, just being out in nature and like exploring the island is something that was what I wanted to do when I moved to the west coast of Canada. And so yeah, living here though without a vehicle, it's kind of difficult to do, to travel around and do hikes that are further away, and it's impossible to kind of do overnight stuff unless you are tenting. But in order to like bus everywhere, it'll take like a lot of hours. So anyways, basically just traveling around and seeing the island is not something that I've really had much of a chance to do yet, and so that's a big reason why I want to be on wheels and more mobile. And the fact is that I don't have like a full-time job or a career that is making me stay in one place, and being in an apartment basically just takes money away from being able to be mobile. And money is another part of it. Rent is ridiculously expensive, especially in the city I live. It just honestly doesn't make any sense to be paying rent and utilities and Wi-Fi. Yeah, it just doesn't allow me to save any money, and I feel like the money that I do use isn't really like going towards anything. Also, just in like the grand scheme of my life, like apartment living is not what I want to do, and it's like I said, it served its purpose and it was great for the time that I needed it and that I had it. But I'm also just ready for kind of like the next chapter, and also to push myself out of my comfort zone, because actually if there was like one thing on my Europe trip that I kind of got as a message, it was that I just really need to get out of this like routine. It's not even a routine, it's a rut. I need to get out of this rut that I'm stuck in. I really think that, yeah, living in a truck camper will push me out of this rut. It's obviously not going to be easy. It's obviously still going to cost money. There are a lot of things that I'm going to have to learn and get comfortable with and doing. I will insert a few pictures of my camper. My dad and my grandfather actually helped me, well, they basically renovated it for me. I got to help in some of the initial demolition process, so I have not been there to help out with all of the renovations, which I am sad about. Like, I would have loved to kind of be there and yeah, put in the work. I'm super grateful and thankful that I have all these like handymen in my life that offered to do this, and it was like a fun project for them. So I'm really, yeah, grateful that they did this. I think it's super cute, and it's gonna be, yeah, just on the back of my truck, and I will be living full-time in it. It does not have a washroom. It has a little like kitchenette and like burners that'll run on propane. It sleeps, well, it did sleep 5 people initially, but we got rid of the like, it's like a shelf that turned into a bunk bed. We got rid of that, and so now I think it'll only sleep 3 or 4. But I'm not really planning on traveling with too many people. It'll more or less be me, myself, and I. And yeah, so obviously there will be some adjustments going from an apartment with all the amenities, having a washroom and a very full functioning kitchen. I'm not worried about like the space by any means. I do, of course, have some like nerves going into it about like not having a toilet and yeah, and I guess just like, I guess the luxuries that come with an apartment or a house or whatever. So for the first month that I'll be living in it, I will most likely not be doing any work. There's a possibility of me still doing some nannying while living in the camper, but for the most part I'm not going to be working that much. And then come July and August, my plans are a little bit up in the air, but I will most likely be doing a fruit picking job of some type, which is seasonal work, so it'll work out perfectly. And I don't have a timeline of how long exactly I'll be living in my camper, but that's just kind of part of the fun. I mean, I've always been a person that has to have every detail of my life planned to a T. If you knew me in high school, I was freaking out in like grade 9 going into high school because I didn't know what I was going to be when I grew up. And I feel like over the last 2 to 3 years, I have definitely changed a lot in the sense that I tried to accept I don't know everything in terms of where my life is going, and kind of learn to like go with the flow a bit. Like I said, this is going to be a really big change for me, going from, yeah, an apartment to this camper, but I'm really excited for it, and I hope you guys will be too. I'm gonna show probably most of my life and how I end up dealing with living on wheels. Like, the funny thing is like, I know it's going to be a challenge, but I'm also really excited for a change, because I think when you get into this like routine or rut, at least personally, I just get really upset with feeling stuck. To be able to spend more time outside is going to be amazing, and hopefully just, yeah, to be more in touch with nature and be able to like park in the trees or near trees at least. Like, that would be great to like get out of the city finally. This is just kind of, I guess, a short update. And yeah, I'm in the process of selling furniture, which is why my mattress is just on the floor now, which is great. And it kind of just feels like a slumber party all the time, which I really love. In approximately 3.5 weeks, I will be out of my apartment. And I guess I'll just be, yeah, taking you guys along with me on my living on wheels journey. I don't know what we want to call it, but that is kind of an update in my life at the moment. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please thumbs it up and comment any questions or comments down below, and hit that subscribe button to see how this all pans out and to see all of my future videos, and we'll see you next time.